Hi friends, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to learn about the loops in Python. Basically, why we require the loops. We all know that Python interpreter execute line one by one. But what else? What if we want some line to be execute multiple times? So do we need to write those line multiple times? Yes, of course we can do, but there are several other ways by which we can execute those lines several times. So basically, Python loops allows us to execute a single or group of statements multiple times whenever needed. And for that, in Python, various control structures are there. I will mention here few of them. That is while loop, there will be the for loop, and the combination of something that could be called nested loop. Okay, so we'll look these three things, as well as we'll look few other stuff which most of the time used going to use with the while, for or the nested loop, that is called break statement. What else we have? Continue statement, and we have pass statement. So in today's video, we are going to learn these three things and these three things. Let me create one development cell here. So first we'll check that while loop. Okay, let's say I have a variable that is called count is equal to 5, and I'm going to write one while statement, and the count, if count is greater than 0, then I want to execute some line of code, that is inside while loop. Cool. So if we'll talk about the syntax, then we have to write while first, and then again our expression, which will execute and tell to the interpreter that that is true or false, and based on that, the interpreter, this while statement, while loop, is going to decide that interpreter will go to the inside this while loop or not. So here we have count is equal to 5, and we are giving the condition that if 5 is greater than 0, yes, definitely that is greater than, then it's gonna be come inside, and again this will execute multiple times actually until this condition will not be false. Okay, so how that condition could be false? By reducing this count. So I'm going to write count minus equal to 1. Okay, so after the 5 iteration, this count will be 0 and this condition will be false. Okay, so this is print statement is going to execute 5 times. We got it right. And what if we are not going to write this particular line? What will happen? That would be a very big mess, guys. Our this kernel, you can see, we need to interrupt it. You want to look over this? Okay, let me execute this. See, this is nested. We are getting most of the output and all. So somewhere in your program, your system memory is going to be full and your application will be crashed due to this, because your interpreter will continue loop inside this while loop. So this is very bad programming. We should not do that. How to stop that? We need to interrupt this kernel, and again I will uncomment this line and execute it again. So this is pretty much clear about this while loop. Also, there is one thing which is not in many languages but available in the Python, that we can add else condition also with the while. So how we can do that? normal else we learned in the previous video, print, and we can read while loop executed successfully. Okay, so again we are going to execute this. See, after the 5 iteration of this while loop, it comes to the else. When it comes to the else, whenever this condition is going to be false. So here it's going to be behave like a if condition as well, but if condition executes only once, and this while condition will execute until the condition will not be false. So I hope this is pretty much clear about the difference in why if else and the while else. Okay, move to the next point, that is break statement. Why I'm choosing break here? Because we can use break also with the while loop. I will again copy paste this, and what I'll do, I will write break here, and let's check what will happen. See what happened. It comes to here and assign the value 5 to the count. Here check this condition. Okay, this expression is true. It comes inside, print this value, reduce one number from the count, and now this got the break. So basically what break does, it comes like interpreter, whenever the Python interpreter is going to get the break statement inside the while, it understands that now no need to execute this while loop or while else loop. So basically it comes to again. Why this not comes to the else condition? Because it's not going to check again the condition basically, and this condition will be false, then only it's gonna come to the else. This is very important point, guys. So here if it gets the break, this Python interpreter, then it's understand that okay, now we don't need to execute this while loop basically. That's why it's come to jump to the last after this line, you can say, and there is no statement. Okay, let me write one statement so that you guys can more understand. Done. Okay, see, so after this break, let's jump to the outside this while loop basically and printed this done here. So you understand, guys, that what is the use of break. Okay, if I'm going to write continue here, let me take the another example. Continue. Any guesses what will happen? It will execute all, because what continue does, continue says that okay, whenever an interpreter is going to get continue, it's going to start again this while loop. It jump to the again the condition. So what is the use of that? Let me tell you the example. Let me keep it as it is so that you guys can refer again for the comparison. What I'll do, I will write one print statement here. Okay, after continue statement. Okay, let me execute it here. This after this continue, the interpreter is going to jump to the again this while loop. It's not going to execute the bottom lines. So this is the use of continue. So we use this for some conditions. If you want to handle in some of the cases, we use the continue. So I hope, guys, you know aware very well about the break and continue statement. Now what is pass? Pass is nothing but much used in the programming basically, but yeah, for the development you can use it. Let's say I don't want to print anything here. Okay, I don't want this line. I don't know that what I need to do exactly right now, but I want to iterate this while loop. So in that case I will write pass here, so that in coming future I am going to, you know, in the incoming future I am going to write some conditions. So this is the pass, which is basically used by developer for some of the cases if they really don't know what exactly they need to do. Okay. Now we'll jump to the second point, that is our for loop, which is very important topic. So before that, I will create one list. The list name will be the user age list, let's say, and I will give 10, 12 and 14, some random value. Now I will write the foreign statement with this user list and print the item. Okay, so this is the syntax for the for loop basically. So this is a for, we need to write first for and then item, then in, and then the variable which is going to be iterate basically. So this will be used every time any iterables. What are the iterables? Iterables are like list, like dictionaries, uh, keys or values might be, which is in the list, or tuple and sets. Okay, so those things. And what is item? Item is whatever the iteration, for the each iteration one value is going to assign to this item. So in this case, first with the first iteration, this 10 is going to assign this item, then this line will execute, then again this interpreter will come to this line, and again this item will have this 12, then again 12 will print, and again it will come back to this particular line, and the this foreign statement going to assign into the item this 14 value and this. So then this statement will be done. Let me execute this. So we got this 10, 12 and 14. Pretty much clear. So we have three objects, three elements inside the this user age list basically. That's the reason this loop iterates only 3 times. If more, then it's gonna be more. Now the break statement. Use this break again. What will happen? Only 10 is going to print. Okay, because this break this statement. So again break is going to say that okay, now interpreter, we don't need to go jump to back to the for loop. Everything is done, just come outside of that. So for that I will write one print, this is done basically. Let me execute. So our interpreter will jump to the next line, which is not will be the part of this foreign statement. And again continue does the same thing. Let me write something here, print after continue the statement, change it to continue. This line is not going to execute anytime because we are using continue. So whenever the interpreter will come to the continue, it again going to jump to the foreign statement. This is very, very cool. So we have completed these two topics, while and for. Now we'll check the for nested loop. So nested loop might be inside the while loop there will be for loop, or inside the for there will be one for. So we'll check the example here, two for loop inside each other. So what I'll do, I will copy this example, okay, and I will create one more list, that will be that user list, and let's say user is A comma B. Okay, fine. Now I will change, I will create one for user name. We can change item with anyone. This is our variable, so we can give any name in that. That's why I'm giving this example here. Again this colon, and we'll print this username here, and this for loop will be inside this for loop, and this is our structure. So basically in this for loop we have these two lines basically. one this print, and again one for loop. In that for loop we have one single line. So what will be the output? Any guesses? Okay, let me tell you. So first this username will have the value a, it's gonna print a, and again this for loop will start. So again this iteration will complete 3 times, as we have 3 values 10, 12 and 14. Then again interpreter will jump to here, and again this username will have the value b, and again this for loop is going to iterate 3 times. Basically this is called the nested loop. Check the output. A 10, 12, 14, B 10, 12, 14. Okay. So this is nested loop. Let me write in the comment so that you can guys revise it if you want. Nested loop. This is awesome. So we have learned today that what is loops in Python, what are the purpose of that, how we can use for else, while else, how we can use the for loop, how we can use the nested loops, how we can use break in break, continue and pass in the while and the for loop both. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like and like this video, then please like and subscribe my channel, and write in the comment if you want any specific topic to explain by me related to Python, that I will really would be happy to do that. Okay, thank you guys.